2. Alright, G's to the boss, he's back. Still a boss and still smacking headgear. Twinkle Toes is with me, that's Howler, that dude. And then also Artemis is on the hunt. We're the Goof Troop, and we've got Nephilim versus We Nuke N Run about to go at it. So we've got, let's see, Nephilim on the red side. And they've come out with the Destro BC, Double Levy, Arbiter, and Raven. And we're looking at We Nuke N Run came out, Double Guardian, Double Carrier, Double Levy. All right, so looks like it's about to get exciting. I'm gonna turn this to Howler right quick and tell me what do you think this initial interaction is gonna look like.
Well, right now, Silk Gods has already got his 4 tentacles up, and so does Silver. So it looks like they're expecting a launch from the opposing team. It is, a decent expectancy since Nephilim does tend to do a lot of launch builds. They also have the 6 interceptors, and it looks like they're not coordinating launches. They're actually just launching on various ships so that the storm cannot take them both out. You got 5 spawns and both guardians. They are not trying to kite with broodlings. They are actually just trying to not get run down by wildfire. Who's currently putting pressure on Gifted One. Artemis?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because you're really going to see which players are the better Levy players, because we have Levy versus Levy matchup. But then also find it's interesting how the carriers are split on either side of the Guardians. Because typically when you have 6 and carriers, they usually stick together, launch together, regardless of whether or not there's an Arbiter in play.
So let me ask you this, Artemis. What is, if you're the We Nuke N Run guys, what's ultimately your strategy here? How do you win this game?
Well, I'm thinking my strategy is either these Leviathans we're hoping to go for Corruptors and for containment eventually after the initial farming rush. You have the carriers, you have the opportunity for Texas and rundown. These Guardians, I'm supposing they're going to be going more tanky. You could be seeing sort of a spawn supported by these carriers, but this isn't very beefy. So unless the Guardians or the Leviathans really become tanky, they could have a hard time holding their own in the middle. Because Wildfire's just having a fun one against the Gifted One. They do have their launches though, so we'll see how it plays out.
Now Howler, it's kind of a thing, you think that We Nuke N Run is going to bust out muscle comp on you and do some flanking thingy and, all kinds of shenanigans. And they didn't do that. Do you think that, they're playing outside of their zone, or you think that people just maybe have a misconception about all of the different things that they can do?
Well, I mean, if I was going to honestly pit I guess on this, I would think it's because it is the first game of the series. They do not want to be traditional We Nuke N Run. And the reason why I say traditional is because I have played against them several times, and it's been about 4 or 5 months since I first started playing with and against their players. And I think by opening with something that's unconventional to their style, it will lead the opposing team to be guessing for the next match. I think it's more of a psychological thing right now, and it looks like the teams are shifting over, putting incredible pressure on Wildfire.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting pressure on Bite Light. There was a launch on him, and they're just pushing on the lane.
So
Bite
he's
going down.
definitely going to take a lot of... Oh, this is a 0 HP? Oh, man. Okay, so...
One Leviathan's down, and Wildfire's in the red, so he can't even push to make a trade on Silver.
Oh, so that's hurtful, guys. We've lost Bite Light 5 minutes into the game. As I was trying to show you guys earlier, the farm advantage was already about 100 for We Nuke N Run. Now you're looking at about 350 right now. 350, sizable in this early game atmosphere. I'm gonna turn this to the experts though, and Howler, how do you overcome now? How do you win this match if you're Nephilim?
I'm very confused right now. Dusk was out for a warp point. The entire team, minus 1 Levy, was still at the tower. They could have pulled off a quick counter warp trick, and they could have easily taken out one of the guards, if not both. I mean, one of them was yellow, one of them was... They were actually both yellow. It would have been an easy focus fire cutover. And the one thing I want to comment about Twilight when he was actually taken out was he actually had the opportunity to go up on farm on the outside levy. He was already beating him by 2 range, but he was down 1 tentacle. In that case, I think I would have kept preventing the other levy from being able to upgrade by doing damage, because it's okay to two-shot farm as a levy if you're gonna push back the other levy so hard that he has no choice but to go all the way back, therefore opening up the farming lane for you and to get the tentacle. But sorry for rambling on that part. You said how to counter this. I think what's you got to do is you got to go Phantoms with a Dirty Appointment, Appomat, and you got to just play it safe with Phantoms and Chrono Boost and allow Wildfire to do what Wildfire does, which is lead the center of a team into a victory. But it does look like we will have Silver setting a war point. He's coming in on Dirty Appomat. Did a health regen.
And Silver has rapid regen, so he's actually going into this with full health. So he'll be able to hang around until his team can warp. Nice coordinated warden.
So I forget. I think we got some goats or something of that nature happening. Anyway, there's the warp in. Silver's taking an L though, taking heavy damage.
They do have mad interceptors on Calypso, so unless shield transfer happens from Dirty Appomat, which I'm not seeing, he might go down as well. It might be a trade.
Nah, he's getting out of there.
Yeah, I don't think that was a necessary trade at that point.
Wow, so a little bit of you know, you don't expect somebody to warp trick in there and get deboed, but is this just a result of not coming out with the same beef you're used to warp tricking on guys in with?
Actually, I think it was because they had too much of a delay warp in. I don't know if it was because they were trying to counter, a storm on the entire team, or they were worried about EMP
and they did get EMP. The first 3 ships did get EMP, so maybe it was strategic like that. Perhaps not.
I mean, they did warp in with Corrosive Acid and Parasite, but they did not get a Parasite off. But they were using Corrosive Acid.
And that's the disadvantage of this composition. There is no real tank. Like, at that point, the Leviathan is not... like, later in the game with a lot of health, sure, Leviathans can tank a lot, but they don't have a Destro who can just take the heat. And so, Silver was really dependent on actually just staying in there. Because otherwise, you have the Carrier and the Guardians.
We do have 10 range on Dusk, and 10 range on Sub-Gods. So we'll be dual there. The only thing is, Dusk does have more bile, so he does do more damage. But he does not have health regen, while Sub-Gods does, so the Levy battle should be interesting, but Corrosive Acid does tear you a new one.
Let's take a quick look at the farm. So for Nephilim we have a just above 780 farm, and for the blue team, so we have just over 1,000 farm, so still a bit of a farm lead. We can keep an eye on that too.
Wake up.
Alright, so now we're looking at 5 versus 5. Like Artie was just saying, you still got the farm advantage over here. I'm guessing this doesn't really change what your strategy is for pulling this out if you are Nephilim. So if you are We Nuke N Run, you just lost that guy, but you still got your advantage. What are you looking for? Is this is a long-term strategy for you, right?
I mean, you do have double carriers, so you do have the double interceptor potential. I mean, there is a BC and a Destro and a Raven that you can attempt to infest. I know it seems infestation is a very iffy thing, but I feel it's one of those things that if you're going with an unexpected comp, you might as well keep doing unexpected things. And as long as you keep going interceptors, you will not lose the lead if you spend 300 farm on infestation. I know that's kind of a really risky thing that you probably don't need to do, since there is a Raven that can EMP you or a protective field during the infestation, but all you need is to force the Raven away with that interceptor launch and it leaves it open.
And looks like Sub-God's buying a lot of health upgrades. He's just got over 16k health. Going after Dusk, who's going after Gifted One. Sub-Gods, he has a bit of armor, so he can just stay in this right now. He's not going to suffer the same fate as Silver and dying early.
Alright, so we've got Gifted One getting a heavy push on him. That's a Bombard blowing up. And that's Face. So unfortunately we've got Gifted One gone for the We Nuke N Run squad right now. Now looking at being a ship down. Not what we would have expected a couple minutes ago.
I think they should have pushed more. Sub-Gods was he had energy and he was almost at full health that whole time. So I think he could have put more pressure on the BC and the Destro. Okay,
Howler, so you've lost one of your guards over here. you're still looking at, I mean, they've got a slight advantage in farm right now. I mean, does anything really change after losing that one Guardian? Are you still looking at the same thing, just with less margin of error?
I mean, it actually changes it a lot significantly because you can't spread out the Guardian upgrade pass. I mean, you just lost your corrosive assets, so now this Guardian is probably going to be advised by the captain to get corrosive assets so you can make up for the DPS you lost. In addition, you lost another ship that is your center that's supposed to be kiting and pushing, and you're not really putting any damage on the BC. The Raven's always going to stay in the back, and he has the speed. So now your only real viable target would be the Destro. But the thing is with the Destro is, it's easy if he has E-shields to counter infestation, or shield transfer from 2 ships. I mean, so you kind of have to revise it. I mean, he did go into Scourge. Not quite sure why he did that. They do have Storms, and they can transition into pods very easily. Maybe they're thinking long-term team fights for that last mute that will finish someone off. Not quite sure, but the Interceptor levels on Tech is 11, and NetButter is 11. They do have Vortex, so it looks like they are going to be trying to set up maybe a Scourge on the team with a Vortex and some additional damage. But I really think they should have gone straight Interceptors, both of them, because that's really their main DPS right now.
I think the Vortex in this case is actually partially intended to be a safety, because right now, I mean, their only real DPS, you have the Scourge and you have the 11 Needle Spine on the Guardian and Sub-Gods, who's starting to look more and more tanky over time, but I think it's more of a, I think it's just to have a save. Because they've already lost 2 ships, and a Tex would have been very useful at that point, though I agree with you, I think keeping up the DPS would have been important.
Alright, so go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I mean, for me, it's just one of those things that I feel like there was no excuse for them to have lost those 2 ships in both cases. So I guess that's why I was straying away from Vortex. It's just because you shouldn't need safety when you have safety in numbers. But, I mean, I guess if you are going downhill at this point, it is good to get the Vortex. And it looks like NetButter does not have enough for Graviton Catapult. So he will be seeing staggered launches and line launches.
Taking a quick look at the farm, we've got 1,100 farm for Nephilim, actually 1,200 farm for Nephilim, and for just 1,400 for We Nuke N Run. I don't know, for some reason the acronym's not sticking in my brain. But yeah, so they are Nephilim is closing the gap on the farm.
Now it's worth pointing out that after that kill, when they killed that Levy, Silver I think it was, the farm was down to, it was about 100 discrepancy, and We Nuke N Run was able to stretch that out a little bit. Why are we not seeing a more immediate overtaking in the farm lead?
I think it's partly due to the Interceptors, because you're able to spread out more and farm more. And there is a tournament coming up called For Glory where people have been practicing 4v4s. So, I mean, this might not be a new situation for them, considering that they might have been practicing for a week how to farm with foreign ships. Because I had been seeing them spreading out in the proper lanes. But one thing I want to pose a question to y'all is, we do see missile pods, but do we not think the Interceptors are a big enough threat to warrant acid spray from Dusk?
Well, at this point, no, because they know that Techmeister's going for the, well, he had, sorry, not Techmeister, NetButter has the Vortex, so his farm is a bit crippled. And also Techmeister, neither of these ships have Warpin, and they haven't seen that, so, they basically, between the pods and Storm, they've been able to handle themselves just fine.
Alright.
And at this point, Dusk really should be going for DPS, because what else does Nephilim have, really? They have a Destro who can keep running down, BC with a couple of missiles, but starting to go energy build, and then a Raven and an Arbiter, so they really depend on Dusk for the DPS.
Yeah, he's sitting at level 10 for his bow right now, out at 10 range. So he's on his way, but I guess it's going to be a little while before he can really do any major overtaking with these 2 carriers putting harassment on him. Just looking around at other upgrades and whatnot, Sub-Gods has his regen. He's at 9 for his Bioswarm. Lago over here, like we were talking about, is using Scourge. He's got Parasite. And as they were just discussing NetButter with the Techs, Techmeister looks to be, well, it looks like I guess he just farmed less. I don't know what the deal is, but he doesn't really have. I guess he just has more interceptors. Is that what the big disparagement is between Techmeister and the other?
One is Graviton Capital. Yeah, you just said Graviton Capital, and then Vortex. But sorry, I just want to point something out that might not be apparent to people watching. Dusk does have health regen, does 1800 heal, but Subgod's heal does 2500. So it allows Subgods to tank in, and as we saw, he was actually starting to kite the tower at one point. But when the team started pushing out, he had actually pulled back since he was the only one up there.
I also want to make a point of something I don't know if I like very much. The Subgod's Nuke N Run Leviathan. He has a bit of bile, but it wouldn't be very wise for him to invest too much in it because you have two potential counters. You have potential force fields from the Arbiter and PDDs from the Raven. So at this point, I think just getting very tanky and potentially tanking for the interceptors would be useful. Looks like Dusky's getting more health upgrades.
Yep, so it looks like, okay, we've got Subgods. He's over 16,000 for the HPs right now, but just level 3 on the armor. The experts are thinking, you know, more along the lines of upping that armor and stuff, be more helpful. We haven't gotten the PDDs or force fields out yet, but yeah, very viable strategies.
Though at the same time, actually, Subgod's putting a bit into bile could actually somewhat trick or encourage the an overreaction on Nephilim's part by getting PDDs and force fields and then switching to armor 10s. So that's also another strategy as well. Trying to force the other team to react to you and then doing something completely different after they've wasted, 300 minerals plus on useless upgrades.
Oh, right, so trickeration. Go ahead.
Yeah, Parasite's expired on Wildfire.
It's on Calypso.
Oh, okay.
It's on the Raven.
Yep, there she is. Right there. And looks like on the bottom, Dusk has been doing his thing down here, getting a lot of harassment. Two carriers down here messing around with them. Had some support from the support guys that are on his side, so he's well ahead of everyone else on his team in terms of farm. And then, as you can probably expect, Subgods is high farm for the match in general. Looking at the farm overall, We Nuke N Run still ahead, almost a 300 advantage despite being a ship down. So the farming is working out for them quite well, and yeah, any sudden aggression by Nephilim could turn out to be a little more deadly than they expect, even with that ship advantage.
Double feedback now on both the carriers for We Nuke N Run as well as Warpin.
And PDDs will go down. Now, interesting question for you. We do see the Arbiter with 425 energy with only Storm. He hasn't upgraded his shield transfer. Are they really this terrified of Scourge and double interceptors when they had missile pods, protected field, and Storm?
Could be possible. Dirty Applemat's been hanging around Dusk this entire match, basically just trying to protect him from the interceptors. It hasn't been incredibly effective because Dusk's farming has been stunted in comparison to Subgods, who's basically had free reign.
Yeah, and we've seen Wildfire doing his part, throwing the bombards down on Scourges and interceptors too. So yeah,
There's PDDs on Calypso.
Oh, there you go. PDDs are out. Do you think at this point it was necessary? We didn't see him add any Bile Swarm over there for Subgods. So how helpful is that really?
I mean, I think it's situational. I mean, I think it helps Wildfire push out to the outside lane and do it, because there is no counter to Bile when you're over there by yourself as a distro trying to farm against a Levy. So, I mean, for that purpose is the only reason why I'd see it being useful. Maybe if they're doing a deep push and Subgods is leading the charge, maybe for that as well. But overall, I would not have chosen to go PDDs. I would have chosen to go for Blackout, considering you have a double
on the
carrier.
carriers, yeah. I'm really, really surprised though that we don't have a lockdown on Bruce Campbell. He's going for an energy build, and I mean, based on the upgrades, they have to suspect that new We Nuke N Run has a Tex, and currently the only counter we have to that is Calypso with his EMP.
So
I think that a lock would have been a wise decision.
Yeah, I'm guessing that maybe a different way to tech as far as that would have been to not go so much onto the lasers and make sure that he had that instead.
Oh, hey guys, we're seeing a cutover on the Arbiter and the Levy. Arbiter does have almost no shields left, and he still only has Storm. At this point in time, I would think you would want at least Chrono so that your Levy can do his work. I mean, he does have Acid Spray.
So there's going to be no potential to deny for Vortex. Don't have the energy quite for it, but Nutbutter's going to have it by the time he gets to Dusk and Aftermath.
Oh boy,
it looks like we're
the
having
energy's there.
Could be seeing a Vortex here.
There's the text coming out.
Oh,
nobody goes into it.
You're definitely going to need a PDD at this point in time because the Levy is what is forcing the team to run away. Here comes the launch. Level 12 interceptors, Acid Spray.
Scourge. I would have staggered that a little bit.
Ouch! So he misses that Tex. Very. That's an opportunity missed. It is possible that he could have been helping the pizza guy with his bike at the time, but it is unfortunate that he missed that Tex for him. Nephilim's able to escape that, and we're back with someone lagging out right now. So
Calypso.
I mean, that was actually very fortunate. I mean, it could have been an easy 1-2 ship kill right there, but the avoiding of the Vortex will keep the game going.
All right, so We Nuke N Run has extended their farm advantage, looking at 4 hundo right now. So Nephilim hasn't been able to catch up yet, but they're playing shrewdly. Okay, Lipso lagging.
Yeah, lag is really annoying. I wonder if anyone ran the preloader custom map beforehand, because that is dead useful to combat against lag.
Yeah, I've been using that, and yeah, for all you youngins out there, what we're talking about is the unit preloader. It's a custom map, top 5 rated custom map on your StarCraft 2. You sit there and like for a minute it runs every animation in the game, so that when you play whatever your real custom game is you want to play, it's already loaded into that cache or whatever, and you don't have that contributing to any potential lag that you could get. So there's a little hot tip for you from the Huntress. Start using it and stop lagging.
Oh wait, nobody else is allowed to do it except my team.
Well, hold on.
I take it back.
Let me have a question here. Now, do you have to do that before every game you play, or do you just do it once and it's good for
when
that day?
When you start SC2. And I recommend, actually, if you're playing a lot of long games or something, restart SC2 every once in a while, too. That's also useful. Or restart your computer if your computer is not a beast. It's a pussycat side of the line.
I think she was throwing out an insult at one of us. I don't know which one she thinks has the silly computer.
My computer, as the audience out there knows, is less beastly than most. So I'm pretty much here as an inspiration to the downtrodden. You can do these things. You might not be able to be 1080 with it, but you can still smack people's koofies if they hate on you about it, and you can still cast and stream along with the goof troops. So get out there, run your unit preloaders, use your 720 resolution if you got to, and you can still make a difference in this world, make it better for all of us. Hopefully we see Calypso come back here, but
Hope so.
While we're waiting, I'm gonna take a sec to talk some Starbattle basics with Howler and Artemis. It's nice because we can combine like just my general awesomeness, yet lack of knowledge about anything Starbattle related, along with a couple experts who can talk about the actual Starbattle stuff. As you see, yeah, they're gonna pause. So hang with us. We're going to talk about some stuff here. Let's talk about strategies and the kind of things that teams are doing nowadays
Looks like
with the
Calypso
latest
did drop.
patches. Uh-oh.
So now they're gonna have to do arrangement. Luckily, when you have players that have lost ships, you can have someone take over. So we'll see what Traditional going to do.
My question to you is, at this point in time, who do you have take over the ship? Do you have a person that is the best at using that ship take it over, or do you have whoever died first take over that ship at this point in time?
Well, you could also just do some switcheroos with sharing control and stuff like that. I've actually done that lately. In a match, I accidentally clicked Void Ray instead of Carrier, and I don't play Void Ray. So I took over someone's Destro, and then they took the Void Ray, and we kept upgrading each other's ships all the time. So you could do some musical chairs.
I mean, I'm a really big proponent of that. It's something that I do normally with some of my friends that don't like playing VRs. But the thing is, a lot of people don't like doing that in IH or tournament levels because they feel like, for some reason, it's too big of a deal, I guess I would say.
It is annoying, and it requires coordination of the upgrades. I find that, like, I mean, I'd be better at it because I've done it a couple of times recently because I spawned the wrong ship. But yeah, it's a distraction for sure because then these players have to be discussing what upgrades to get and how many minerals you have left versus actually, playing and doing your own thing.
Just curious, because where my screen is right now, I can't actually see where is Calypso on the map. Does anyone know?
No, I don't have him either on my screen, so not sure.
He's probably back at base actually, because there are 3 ships at base, and I see the Destro, the Levy, up here in the middle.
Well, then that solves the case. I happen to be on the other side of the map.
Looking at the stars.
Well, I was actually looking at the opposing mothership just because, I like checking there.
Gotta watch for any craziness. There could be a party at the Protoss mothership.
I mean, it could be like a corruptor attack there, the mothership goes down. It could be like, I mean, I've just seen too many games. They're great matches and have motherships or command centers sniped. Even though that's not really possible in this game, it's just a habit of mine to check both motherships.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, G-Street, to talk about some basics, but we can hit that after.
No, we didn't.
Looks like we're getting going again.
Seems as though I will never learn, and the rest of you guys are screwed as well. But we're about to get back. We're about to get back after it on this TSL, this Star Battle. This is Week 2 TSL. Goof Troop. There you go. You've got Bite Light, who died, taking control of Calypso's ship. So that's going to be your solution to that issue right there.
So I have a very excitement stating. They do have Phantoms now, which I think they should have gone a really long time ago, and or Chrono. Just so you continually spam EMPs or Acid Spray and Health Regen, or even Repair Bots and Bombardment. So this is an exciting moment that they will not build an encounter until they actually catch up with their team. It looks like he only has the first... Actually, it looks like he doesn't have any upgrades on the Phantoms because of how fast they are dying.
One thing I don't agree with, Bruce Campbell, the BC for Nephilim, put a lot of minerals into missiles, so it has 10 range, 11 missiles. I don't agree with this. I think Dusk, the Leviathan, should have been the main DPS, and Bruce Campbell should have gone for lockdown, because right now the carriers can sort of feed back with impunity and can prevent some of the counters.
Yeah, there you see.
Interceptor launches.
Now, as someone that likes being sneaky, I personally don't like the idea of giving away the idea that you had Phantoms so easily. What we saw right there is he just sent the Phantom Raven for a suicide run, and then he just did another suicide with the Destro. I'm more of someone that tries to use Phantoms as scouts, and or taking DPS when you're doing team pushes, and or using it to trick to use Scourge or other abilities on him. Do you agree with this movement of him just doing Phantoms and sending him to suicide?
No, I totally agree. Like in my mind, like Phantoms are basically moving tanks that you can afford to let to die. I also think sometimes it's fine to mess with people's heads. You shield transfer the tank or stuff like that. Make sure, sort of leave it to the question of which is real and which is not. But yeah, no, totally, they should be tanking, because then you can see that all the focus fire goes on the Phantom, which is huge. And they have players that can control these Phantoms, so there's no reason why they shouldn't take full advantage of it.
Actually, sorry, Calypso, it was the one that dropped, and so they had someone take over the ship. I mean,
oh yeah, you're right, so they're down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy playing as, a Raven and controlling all the Phantoms, or playing as a Levy and controlling the Phantoms, but I'm looking at their roster right now, and I don't see anyone on their team that has previously talked with me and been like, I love to micro multiple ships, or I love Phantoms. And so I really don't know who would be the optimal choice to just actually control Phantoms, if not have one person, doing it on their own, aka the ARB. We will see a push in our left by Nutbutter. This would be a great time to have a Phantom helping absorb DPS.
And there it is. Dirty is sitting on a hundo for the energy. They're gonna pull back there. Here comes the Scourge. A little bit of harassment, or harassment if you're one of those guys. But just to point out, farm still pushing. About 430 on the farm advantage for We Nuke N Run. So, would you guys say that the efficiency in farming is pretty much what's keeping this game going for them right now?
I mean, I would say it has a large part to do with it. I also think what's happening is the opposing team isn't actually having to capitalize on doing anything in particular as like team pushes. I say that just because a lot of times I'm seeing the team be split in half, like we just saw. It was 2v3 on the left side, and then the other side was split as well, instead of focusing as a ball pushing, because all your DPS is Dusk right now with 16 bile. I mean, you have 11 rockets on the BC, but the left side that was pushing really didn't have any DPS other than Bombardment and Storm.
Yeah, we don't really see a focused effort, and it looks like we have Broodlords now. Broodlords from Algorithm. And he started to upgrade them now, level 11, so I think this is going to help when you can put more pressure on, and also hopefully get some map control. Mind you, we have a bunch of counters for Broodlords on the other team.
Subgods does have a Frenzy, and he has an ability of mine that's one of my favorites on the Levy, which is Corruption. He has not shown that ability yet. He is probably saving it for an actual concentrated push, the extra spike DPS that people will be able to see.
Yeah, and that's one thing that people do forget about. That Corruption can be a bad boy. You take an extra 20% damage over 30 seconds when you've got that on you. It just hasn't, doesn't get used with the glamour, and you see people constantly frenzying and running up on people with tents and stuff. But yeah, it can be very effective, especially when you've got some ships on your side that are going to get really powerful.
We got a focus push on Subgods right now. A lot of his bile was going towards the tanking Phantoms, and now I think everyone's going to just stick on him if they can. Acid spray and try to hit him with whatever they can.
Nutbutter's warping, so he might be dropping a text somewhere. That is the text.
And we will see health regen going 2800 heal. So are they going to set up a push here to drop some Broodlords, get your interceptors back, have Subgods heal? Do you think this will be enough to focus down, or should they have retreated?
I would class that as a save text, because at this point, and they're leaving behind the Phantom to die. I think it's this save text unless they can actually try to focus on someone, but with PDDs and D-Matrix...
Oh, Nutbutter extends too far. It might be the end for him since he did just use it.
Nutbutter gets just trampled by the Nephilim squad after Wildfire busts sideways on the Destro on him. So, yeah, you saw him get a little excited, a little ahead of himself, as Howler was saying, and now We Nuke N Run looking at two ship at disadvantage.
So the team does know Corruption is a turn. I mean, I know this might sound harsh, but I've been very disappointed in Nutbutter's team, I feel like they've given 3 kills to the opposing team after having a brilliant kill in the early game. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I feel they should have easily not lost if not all, of their ships.
Yeah, they lost a ship. They lost a ship on a warp trick, and they also lost Nutbutter just now. I think part of the issue, at least after the falling that vortex, is the fact that when you vortex, you have to sort of classify in your mind: was this a save text or was this an offensive text? Sometimes they can be both, but not often. And then you have to sort of feel like, there was this oh shit feeling, and that's why we dropped the text. So should we actually try to pursue this team? And oftentimes the answer is no. We should actually just pull back, regroup, upgrade. We saved our comrade from getting killed, but, let's not push our luck. And that's what happened. They got a little excited, and it wasn't even a focus push, and that Nutbutter overextended there.
Now, interesting thing I just saw in Wildfire is he does have mines. So, I mean, maybe they were expecting to have to lay
Dirt by
minefield.
Subgods. Subgods went under the Destro and the BC and then went through them, and
and they are gonna
gave
run.
the entire team time to catch up, and I don't know if it's gonna make any moves using observation.
Ouchie, 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 ouchie. He's trying to get out of there. He's the high farm of this game.
1-8 speed won't be enough.
Not have a vortex, so can't even save, and there we go.
Oh,
that would
man.
be 4 ships, in my opinion, that might have possibly just been given as tribute.
At this point in my it's GG. It's just a matter of time.
So now Nephilim is finally in the farm advantage. Don't know if that's worth really mentioning.
It only took a couple shifts.
But now Nephilim obviously upper hand here. I mean, I'm thinking they're gonna throw G's at this. Unless they want to troll out.
Are going down.
So there you go. You got the mines. Only level 2 right now, but nevertheless, it starts getting annoying. At this point,
level 20 Broodlords. So,
yeah.
I mean, they could make a stand at a tower. He does have level 22 Interceptors and level 20 Broodlords. That will do spike DPS if they can catch one of the ships unknowingly.
But even right now, even though they're at the towers, you know what? I'm still looking pretty good. They have shields. Well, Wildfire doesn't, but he's got 10 armor. And reinforced hull, so yeah, we're looking pretty good. They're just pulling back because they want to, not because they actually need to.
Okay, so looks like We Nuke N Run's gonna keep the fight up. They're not gonna just G this out. But we'll see how conservative they play in an attempt to get more of a turtle kind of kill. Looks like Nephilim's being pretty conservative with the things that they're doing. So. Maybe a matter of time here.
I mean, what I really would like to see happen, and I've seen this happen multiple in-houses and pub games. I don't really see this in IH anymore, but I would like to see a base snipe by Algo. All he has to do is get his broods up to level 22, and it takes 45 seconds to take out a mothership at that point in time. And even though the BC does have scan, I think he could trade himself for the command center very easily, and if tech transitions into vortex, they can buy even more time to take out the mothership. That's what I'd really like to see right now, and I feel like that is their only hope to really win this game, considering I don't really think they'll be able to make a stand out of tower of theirs.
Alright, so as you can see, he warped onto his prism. He's going wide. He's 22 on the Lings, so I think Twinkle Toes also Prophet style every now and then, looking like it's gonna be that mothership snipe. Let's see how long it takes Bruce to do a scan.
I'd feel a little better as a Guardian if I had a chance to get a Parasite, because he has an Parasite.
So at this point in time, what do you do as the carrier? Do you run back with 278 farm, pump it into interceptors?
You scanned and warping back now.
Okay, it looks like Algo is waiting for the warp cooldown. Yeah, he is warping back. He will have enough time to warp back without any damage happening. But right now I really feel like Techmaster... What did he just buy? I did not see him really upgrade his interceptors too heavily.
Looks like he bought a little bit of energy there.
2-3 energy, that's it.
Yeah.
Perhaps some speed.
Because I was saying he went back with roughly 300 minerals. So at this point in time, I think as a defensive, what you need to do for a Wildfire's team is you need to throw some mines out around your own towers and outside the mothership. So in case you do not have scan available, you do see the the base snipe happen.
And
that's
what do you
doing.
know? So there he
Level
is.
9 mine.
Wildfire's got the mines coming out. Now it's, you know, that's gonna make this even harder. Alago is going to gonna do what at this point? Just try it and hope that he's not getting blown up in the.
Well, I actually don't think they're aware of the mines occurring right now. I don't think he's laid down mines for them to see them happen. And I don't think they've actually clicked on his ship to see how much energy it has to see that it be mines. Plus, they've also seen him go repair bots and bombardment, so they might be thinking that's the reason why he has so much energy. So if they go into the mindset of not knowing that there's no mines, I would definitely still try to do it. I would just get Vortex, and that'd be my defense, is try to base snipe using a Vortex. But if they do know there's mines, I would not attempt to do a base snipe. I would just try to make a last stand at one of my towers and just focus fire.
There go the mines, and they know about them now. Well, mines went off on Algo.
What do you think about that? He had level 9 mines and he detonated them. Would you have waited until it would have been a for certain kill?
Well, if the ship, look at how far down he went. If there was a little bit more DPS on them, if Dusk was closer, they probably could have just sniped him off. I think they could have bided their time a little bit more.
Blackout on Techmeister there.
That blackout's really gonna hurt because now we're getting into late game support ships, and then that's when they really can shine because all their abilities, blackout, matrix, storm, chrono, it really makes all the other ships in the team more dangerous.
Now, what do you think about this swarm going down so early? I mean, should you have waited until perhaps maybe they start pushing towards the tower? Because he did waste some of his energy that he could have used on Broodlords.
I think he should have stuck with Broodlord, but I know it's understandable though that he's worried about missiles because he has the missiles from Dusk's level 16 and double 16 missiles from Dusk, Leviathan, and Bruce, the BC. So.
All right.
Yeah, I would have dumped it in more energy for more Broodlords, I think.
So you see Wildfire's placed the mines up along the top, so any ninja action would meet the mines up there. Right now, yeah, like Artie was saying, 16 on the long bolts, and 16 on those Bioswarm. So that's why you saw Alago go grab the Dark Swarm, sitting at 22 brutes still, 454 his energy, and Techmeister with 22 inch just ate a blackout, and
there's the Dark Swarm.
They're trying to protect the tower. But honestly, they're not going to break out of this contain, especially now that there are the mines to either detect or completely discourage a potential base snipe.
Now, once again, I'm seeing more and more sacrifices of Phantoms for no apparent gain or reason. I mean, I know the team's winning, but I would think at this point in time you'd have more time to practice, you know, how you're doing your placements of Phantoms. Granted, it doesn't really mean much at this point in time, but I think if you're going to spend the energy to actually clone someone, since it is 100 mana, I mean, I think you'd want to actually keep them alive to perform a certain operation.
At this point, Appomat could also just not have anything else to spend his energy on. Well, actually, no. He could be storming and stuff. Chrono and storming. He's chroning as much as he can, but he didn't buy the cooldown upgrades. Interesting.
I guess that's why I'm really baffled as to what he's doing. I mean, we do see the team in full retreat, not by choice. I mean, technically Dusk could stay by himself. He does have enough energy to spam, you know, Frenzy or Acid Spray to keep himself safe from Broodlings and Interceptors, but we might see Bite Light go down right now. I doubt it's going to happen because you do have Chrono and you do have Shield Transfer upgraded at this point.
So
and two
you
ships
see,
shields for each other, yeah, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, you see them. You know, the Interceptors go down. Bite Light did take a decent amount of damage there, but not enough, and not like a warp in and another launch by Techmeister. So he's gonna go ahead and back and get his upgrades. What are you gonna do if you are We Nuke N Run right now?
I would GG. Well, you can play it out. I mean, it's just that, like, you can't ignore the fact that it's level 22 Interceptors and level 22, maybe 24 now, Broodlords. And that is sniping power, but the problem is that they've been contained for such a long time. They're up against a Leviathan with 23 tents and 16 Vile, and is only going to get more. Against a Destro who can tank, and he's also planting mines for map control. And 2 support ships, right? It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. Unless they get lucky with the side.
I mean, I have 2 things. The reason why I wouldn't be GGing at this point in time, because the tiebreaker for the TSL is by wins. But then, if the wins does not dispute when the tiebreaker happens, it goes to score. So maybe they're just attempting to, kill at least 1 ship so that they can actually have a little bit of factors. I mean, I know, granted, this doesn't happen much, but in EU6, I know that was one reason why I wanted didn't advance. Had they killed 1 more ship, or kept 1 more ship alive, they would have advanced into day 2. So maybe they're going from that type of experience to saying, hey, we just want to kill 1 ship.
Yep, you're right there.
Alright, so they will they'll look to find somebody extended a little bit more than they can handle, and then drop those broods and ints. Yeah, nothing to laugh at. And yeah, you can see Dusk is for the most part just out in front, doing the tanking. Regen, he's regenning 1800, so hasn't upgraded that, but he's huge.
Algo's hanging around by the base, and he's just using anabolic over and over and letting the mothership heal him, so he can pump out more broodlords. Just want to make a note.
Now, at this point in time, as Tech Master, do you want to get Vortex, or do you want to actually just keep spending all your money on Interceptors, which now, if I can remember the calculation off the top of my head, each upgrade is going to be roughly 120. So, I mean, he might be better off just doing, intercept count, but I haven't been able to get an exact amount of how many he has currently.
I think attacks would be bad in this case, because if we're hoping for a snipe, you're going to need to split the team up. Ideally, you catch some supports, or you basically just have some way to remove one of the 4 different ways that you can deny Scourge and Ints.
So, sorry, I'm going into question mode here, but if you're Wildfire right now, why haven't you teched into Siege right now, so that you could attempt to do the mothership? I mean, you have Storm, you have Pods, you have Acid Spray, you have Shield Transfers, Chrono Boost. How could they not keep you alive? Even against Scourge, Broodlings, and Interceptors, because you do have Blackout, so that cuts the DPS in half.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, actually. It could be going for next back, or is he just putting more into mines?
He's going more energy. That's all I've seen him upgrade his energy and upgrading his... Nope, he's not upgrading his mine level. They've been at level 9 for some time.
Yeah, they've been there. Yep, I think at this point actually just a siege would just complete the contain.
Alright, so maybe a little bit of troll action, just wants to maybe mine the entire map. And he's Wildfire, so that'll make him feel cool.
I mean,
shout out to Wildfire.
I'm not trying to cut down Wildfire. I mean, that wasn't my intention, so I guess I will have to counter that statement right now. Just because I feel bad because I have been chopping on the Arbiter, so I have to maybe perhaps save Wildfire from this. Perhaps he hasn't gotten Siege just because they don't want to attempt to snipe the mothership. They want to actually get the 2 kills so that, it goes down as an 0-6 loss.
But I mean, doesn't it go down as a full loss even? I thought that the rules say that if you lose your mothership, then you count as getting marked anyway.
Those are the rules in prior tournaments, but maybe you can speak to this.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you're playing a game, you start questioning what the rules are yourself, and so you tend to go the more tentative path. So, I mean, I know I've been in tournaments where I've gotten the rules slightly confused, and because it's such a close game, I tend to go the more cautious route, so that could be the reason. Once again, I'm sorry, Phantom being sacrificed for no reason.
But since we do have a commissioner here, Howler is a commissioner, he probably is intimately aware of what the rule is. Which rule is applying here? Is it the rule that you lose the mothership, you're a dead person, or not?
Oh man, thank you,
Doesn't count if you can't quote the rule number.
Let's say thank you for not letting me get out of that gracefully. I mean, thank you for like just pulling it out right there. Currently, because I've been working on various other things, I cannot recall that offhand. I know there is a rule change that will be taking into effect, direct result between the Mace and the Epic game. So I've been paying more attention on that, and so I am losing some of the information that I have retained on the rulebook that we designed. I tend to know more of the rules more exactly because I wrote those ones. The ones I didn't write are the ones that I'm less likely to remember when I'm doing other revisions.
All right, so you
Long
got
story
Twinkle
short, don't
Toes.
remember.
Twinkle Toes
Thank
did a
you,
little
Artemis,
dance
as
around the
well.
question.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad my co-captors are not letting me admit something.
Howler
I don't know something.
is full of excuse juice for
Well, I mean,
for all
Back
involved.
to this game, we just saw the Levy using the Dark Swarm to his advantage. You know, he pushed the team out. He doesn't really need to use it, but you know, he thought it's there, might as well use it.
And he has level 23, well, 23 armor and 23 tenths. You can afford to sit next to someone and do some crazy
Well,
things.
he was at 6K.
There, Tex from Techmeister. Techmeister's down. I don't think anyone was caught in that Tex.
Ouch.
Did you see the GG occurring with the carry being left? It was level 24 Broods, is what this game's going to end at. We do see the whole team pushing in, Wildfire popping his protected field now that feedback is not to be worried about. My question to you is, where's the infest? I mean, it's at this point in time, I mean, hopefully Team Troll would help them building the infest off.
So yeah, there you go. No infest, a failed Tex, a death, and that's gonna stop it for game one. I would like to throw a big shout out to my co-casters, Artemis and damn, what is my other co-caster's name? Howler. Excellent co-casting, potentially the best co-casting that has been done today. I will go out on a limb and say that. And we have Nephilim and We Nuke N Run got 2 more games for you. Don't know if we're gonna be able to keep our co-casters. Don't know if they're doing stuff, but Jace to the Boss will be back, and we will get a couple more games for you. Any parting thoughts out of my co-casts right now?
Too many unnecessary trades. Several ships. Well, We Nuke N Run lost a couple of ships unnecessarily. And especially since they got first advantage, I think they should have played a little bit more conservative, considering.
And Twinkle Toes?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on one team or the other, but it most certainly seems that way. But what Artemis is saying is too many trades. I mean, I would agree with that if they were trades, but we only saw possibly one trade. Most of them were just
Derps.
yeah, for lack of politer words.
We're educating the audience about Starbattle terms, and one of them is a derp.
Okay, so there you have it. We're going to be back in a little bit. For now, just enjoy, you know, I don't know, whatever it is you enjoy, and we'll catch you later.